to the lead word. This is Trey Dalbert. Along with me, as always, Chad Bauman. Today is Wednesday, April 3rd. Chad, how we doing today? It's April. Summer's here.
Can't complain. Yesterday was April Fool's Day, but I saw something someone had tweeted. It was like, you can't even trust April Fool's Day anymore because Elon Musk just released a rap song about Harambe, and Mussolini's daughter is beefing with Jim Carrey on Twitter, and neither one was a joke.
I just don't like April Fool's Day at all. Tom Brady had something about fake retiring. It was just, I don't like it. It's my least favorite day, I think.
I think the biggest news to come out of that is Tom Brady now officially has a Twitter. He didn't have one before.
Yeah, how about it? Weird. So we're going to get started. NFL topic today, Chad. Your Philadelphia Eagles pull off a heist of all heists. Jordan Howard for a 2020 6th-round pick. Chad, how do you feel about the trade? New starting running back.
Oh, yeah, I'm gassed up. I'm looking at their offense, and it's, you got Carson at quarterback, Jordan Howard's going to be at running back, Alshon outside, you got Deshaun Jackson outside, Nelson in the slot, Ertz at tight end, and Dallas Goedert tight end. There are so many weapons on that team, it's not even funny.
It's all happening!
It's all happening!
It's all happening!
Yeah, I was looking at something. I want to try to pull it up eventually, but Jordan Howard basically was running behind stacked lines. He had the 8th best yards per carry on 7-man fronts or less. When it was 8-man fronts, his yards per carry average dipped, and that's why he averaged 3.6 yards per carry. As a rookie, he averaged over 5 yards a carry. He's a really good player. Really, really good player. And he's going to get a lot more running lanes because bitch Trubisky isn't his quarterback anymore.
He started his career off with 3,000-yard seasons, too.
Playing behind the Bears, who have no quarterback. And that's the only reason why they got rid of Howard, because they run this gimmick offense, and Tariq Cohen's better fit in the gimmick offense. That's all it is.
Right, he's not much of a pass catcher guy, but I don't worry about that because we got guys that can do that. Corey Clement can catch the ball in the backfield. Wendell Smallwood's good at that to a certain extent. I hear people that are talking about like, oh, the Eagles didn't really do that great with this trade, and I'm like, how? Someone I heard said, oh, well, they were looking to get rid of Jordan Howard anyway when his contract was up. Okay, so it's not like they went out and paid a second, first, or a first rounder for him. They gave him a 6th, maybe a 5th rounder.
90% of 6th-round picks never make it.
Exactly. So you gave up a 6th rounder, maybe a 5th rounder to secure a 3-time Pro Bowler that, yeah, you could have gotten him when his contract expired, but who knows if you're going to get him at that point. Now you secured him. You know he's coming. He has no choice but to come and play for you. I mean, I guess he could Le'Veon Bell this thing, but, I mean, why would he do that?
Here's the thing that I think fans are missing. Most fans don't understand. So Howie Roseman gives up a 6th-round pick for Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard has 1 year left on his contract. If Jordan Howard plays well, he's going to get a free agent contract by another team. He's going to turn that 6th-round pick into a 3 or 4 because of the comp pick. He could let Jordan Howard walk out the door tomorrow after the season's over. Jordan Howard signs a free agent contract, and he gets a 3rd or 4th round comp pick. So he's getting a draft pick while getting a year of Jordan Howard. A better draft pick.
You like that? You like that?
I mean, that's definitely true, too, but even then, even if, let's say Jordan Howard has a great year, who's to say you don't bring him back? You know?
Could.
I mean, there's a lot of, you never want to overpay for a running back. I get that, but I mean, again, you hear it time and time again when it comes to people, the way they talk about, when they talk about why they go to, like, Philadelphia to play, whether it's the NBA, the NFL, MLB. They always mention, I came here, I stayed here for the fans. A couple years ago, J.J. Redick did it in the offseason. We thought he was going to walk. Alshon Jeffrey obviously made his comments when they played, or before they played Chicago in the playoffs this year. Talked about the fans. So, I mean, if Jordan Howard plays great, I don't see any reason why they can't bring him back.
I wanted to ask this question. So Jay Ajayi still doesn't have a home. I know he was injured last year. But do you bring Ajayi back? I think you can get him on a cheap deal. You have the 1-2 punch of Howard and Ajayi with Clement as your third down shifty back.
I mean, it's certainly possible. The thing is that I mean they have a big decision to go through right now because they do have to figure out who are they keeping. I know you mentioned Clement. I think they have so many running backs. They have to figure out what they're going to do there because, yeah, Clement probably is a better all-purpose running back.
That's why I think he stays because he's your best receiver, so he has to stay.
Right. I mean, Josh Adams, maybe they kind of work that around, throw him on the practice squad because he had the best average out of all of them last year.
We got to see him during the last 4 or 5 weeks of the year. I don't think he's any good. I really don't. I don't think he's any good. I don't think Smallwood's any good either.
I'm just saying Josh Adams, he had the better average out of all of them last year. So maybe they're looking at him. He caught a few passes last season, so I mean it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I do think Clement has the best hands. He's made a couple receiver catches since he's been with the team.
Chad, do you have anything else to add on the Eagles?
I'm just gassed up, man. I'm ready.
All right, now we can shift into the NCAA tournament, and my bracket is a complete dogshit mess, but I have to give you credit, Chad. You called it. I thought Duke was just determined to win the whole thing. You picked Michigan State.
Hail to the king, baby.
How in the hell did you call that?
I just went with my gut on that one. I was looking at it. There were so many people that were like, oh, Duke's going to win. It's going to be Duke. It's going to be Duke. I remembered when Michigan State and Duke played earlier this season, I think the score ended up being like 80, I think it was like 86 to 84 or something like that. So I knew Michigan State wasn't going to get blown out of the water by Duke. I thought Michigan State, definitely had better three-point shooting. Now, that being said, I based that off of before the tournament, before Zion started hitting all these threes during the tournament. I didn't expect that at the time that I made that pick. But I thought Michigan State had better three-point shooting going into it, and I just thought, if it gets close, we've seen Duke lose the close games this year, So I was counting on just a little bit of luck too. I'm not gonna lie. And I got it, when who was it? RJ Barrett missed that free throw at the end.
I guess I don't know. It's all luck, isn't it? At some point, you could play those games over 10 times. You don't have no idea who's winning. Auburn's in the Final Four. They could have easily lost to the 12 seed New Mexico State.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, man. Duke did have me nervous. Especially the way they were winning some of those games, like the first 2 games they played. I was getting nervous because I was like, there's only 2 things that are going on here. Either this means that Duke is vulnerable and they can be beaten and taken out, or this just means that they're this year's champion, man. They're winning all these close games. It's destiny that they're going to make it into the finals and win. Luckily, that's not the case because I pretty much won my bracket on the basis of that Michigan State pick. I got one guy who could potentially beat me. If Michigan State doesn't make the finals and Virginia does, Auburn does, it's Virginia. He's got Virginia in his finals. If Michigan State doesn't make the finals and Virginia does, this guy I did a bracket with at my job, he beats me.
I have 0 correct Final Four picks. 0.
I've got 2.
It's embarrassing.
I've got 2, and I was close to having a third one. If it wasn't for Purdue, I'd have had 3.
That was another good call. That was the best game of the tournament. Carson Edwards, he was like the angel and the devil all in the same game.
Oh yeah, he was jacking up threes, and like most of them went in. I thought it was like every time he took a three, I'm like, why are you taking that shot? Then it would go in. I'm like, oh, never mind. You know what you're doing. Until the end, he took that one at the end, and I was like, you asshole.
That was a great game. There's this guy in Virginia, that Ty Jerome guy. I want to punch him in the face. He just has that face. I can't stand that guy.
Is he the one with the blonde hair? Kind of looks like Cisco.
No, he's the white, like brown-haired beard guy.
Okay. I know.
Oh, I can't stand his face.
How about Virginia having a 3-point shot this year? Last year, it was so frustrating watching them because all they could do was drive the lane, and then, they played a team that could shoot threes, and it's just the most boring game ever. This year, they were putting up all kinds of threes in that game against Purdue.
I can't stand them. I hope they get slaughtered by Auburn. I can't stand watching them. They're the most boring team in all of college basketball. All their games are like 40-40. They take every second of the shot clock. They just pack the lane. It's so boring to watch. I can't stand them.
You suck.
Yeah, man, but I'll tell you this. When UNC lost and Duke lost, that killed like everyone's brackets. Nobody at my job that I did a bracket with picked the national champion.
That's part of the problem. I wish that I got to see other brackets before I filled all of mine out. Because if I saw 95% of the people have Duke and North Carolina, that's not happening. That's just March Madness. Not the way it goes. I need to look at 10 people's brackets before I fill mine out next time.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's kind of what helped me is because I held the brackets for my job. I still had North Carolina winning the whole thing, though. I'm not going to lie.
We have anything else on the tournament? I don't even know if I want to watch these games.
I'm going to be watching, just like I said, because the way it's coming down.
If you weren't in it, though, would you watch them?
I think I would. I think March Madness is the greatest part about March Madness is because it's just one and done. And so many things can happen in the course of a basketball game. It's ridiculously exciting. If you take March Madness and compare it to other championships and sporting events, nothing else stacks up.
The first 2 rounds of the tournament are maybe my favorite days of the year. I love the first 2 rounds, but if my bracket's not in it, it's hard for me to watch. I love having my bracket.
See, I don't know. I think you can still get into some really good games, even after the first 2 rounds, after the Sweet 16, as long as it's a good matchup. You can't tell me
Purdue one
that
was excellent.
You can't tell me that Duke game wasn't exciting.
Oh, it was great, but now they're done.
Yeah, but you don't know what's going to happen with Texas Tech and Michigan State. Texas Tech, they're a good team.
Yeah.
3 years ago they weren't 3 years ago they weren't anything, and then they steal UNLV's head coach. Now look at them.
Yeah. We have anything else to talk about, Chad?
I don't know.
Anything else going on in
kind of
the world
a
of sports?
slow season right now. Bryce Harper has got 2 dingers in 3 games.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. All right, so we'll end the show with a quick little NBA playoff preview. Not a ton going on because Chad doesn't like baseball, so we're going to go quick NBA playoff preview. I guess in the East, who do you have conference finals and then going to the finals?
I feel like this is going to seem biased, but I could really see the Sixers in the conference finals. They definitely have the talent, especially after picking up Tobias Harris. The problem is just getting Embiid through the playoffs. He's still working on a lot of load management days off right now.
Ice up, son.
Again, their problem right now is that they don't have the bench for it. Their bench isn't that great, but I pointed this out before. If you look at the Golden State bench, they got Iguodala and that's it. They don't really have that much as far as their bench is concerned. They're number 28 or something in bench scoring, Golden State is. So I don't think you need to have a great bench as long as your starting five is stacked. Especially the way Brett Brown runs his system. He rotates. He likes to keep a good amount of his starters in and just kind of rotate a couple pieces out at one time. He's been picking up. He's been getting more solid with his rotations at the end of the season here. I know you like to say nothing matters in the NBA regular season, but I think they can prepare you to some degree for the playoffs. So I've liked what I've been seeing these last few games. So I really think the Sixers can make the finals. Probably they'll have to go through Toronto to do it. I guess it could be Boston. But I don't know. They seem to be having some troubles. I'm not liking the way they're struggling on off the court kind of stuff.
I'm supposed to wear myself out for the team? What team?
I'm going to surprise you a little bit, Chad. I think it's going to be a Celtics-Sixers conference finals to go to the NBA finals. I think Philadelphia is going to beat Toronto, and I think Boston's going to beat Milwaukee. I think the way that Philadelphia has its size, I don't think they have any sort of center that's going to be able to stop Embiid. Marc Gasol, nice player, not a great defensive player. I think Embiid can eat them up inside. I think Simmons can dominate the Lowry matchup. Redick makes his shots. I think they could beat Toronto. It's just Kawhi. It's just Kawhi in a bunch of parts.
Yeah, I think you said it right there. The key is going to be JJ Redick making his shots. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I'm pretty sure there's some kind of correlation between when they win and whether or not JJ Redick has a good game. And I think that'll be the key is JJ Redick hitting open threes.
Does Toronto have the guy that's going to follow JJ Redick around the 3-point line? Who's that guy going to be? I don't know.
If he gets hot, I guess you could always switch Kawhi onto him. Maybe.
I guess. I don't know. And then you're going to leave Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris roam wild?
Yeah, they lost to Toronto earlier in the year. The Sixers did, and it was close. And that was before they had this starting five that they have now. So now they're even better, and I think they play Toronto, and I think you're right. I think there's just matchup problems across the board for Toronto. So I like them against Toronto. I
also like the Celtics to beat up the Bucks. They beat the Bucks last year in the playoffs. That was without Kyrie. Kyrie's back. I don't know. I think the Bucks have been trying way too hard. They're the try-hard team of the NBA. They're just winning way too many games, trying way too many games, winning way too many close games. Baines needs to lock up Giannis or Horford. Just keep him to 30 points and under. Don't let him go off. They do that, they're winning. If Giannis doesn't kill them, they're winning.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think, in years past, it's been all about, you got to stop Giannis, and that's how you beat the Bucks. But they're a lot more of a complete team now. Eric
they're also
Gordon,
hurt and dropping like flies.
Yeah, that's true.
Brogdon down. Your boy DiVincenzo down.
I forgot Brogdon got injured.
They've been getting hurt left and right because they're trying too hard. They need to take these games like a grain of salt. They're a 4 seed. I'd like them a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll see. And you know what? I think that's another thing where if you look at the beginning of the season, they were just, running through everybody. But, they have been losing some games here towards the end where, maybe they should have won them. But I think more importantly, when you look at a team like Golden State, if they start losing towards the end of the season, they had that track record of just being able to turn the switch and just start winning again. We haven't really seen that before with the Bucks, so they don't have that track record. So you probably like to see them win more going into it. I could see Boston winning, but I could still see it going the other way too.
All right, let's go to the West then. Other than Golden State, who's the next best team? I guess that's the best way to attack it. Everybody knows the Warriors are going to the finals.
Yeah, I don't think that's up for debate. Yeah, I mean Denver and Portland have better records, but to be honest with you, I think we're looking at Houston in the finals. I mean Houston would be playing Golden State. I'll stand by that, where I think Houston does have a chance to upset Golden State. I don't think it's going to happen, but they have the best chance out of anybody, I think, to beat Golden State, because they almost beat them last year. If Chris Paul doesn't get a bum hammy, they probably win that series. There's no forced Game 7 where they miss all 3-pointers that they can. But I still think Golden State's going to end up in the finals again this year. But I think Houston does have the best chance to beat them out of anybody.
I agree.
The other team, that's tough.
I don't take the Nuggets seriously. I don't take the Trailblazers seriously. I don't take the Jazz seriously. I don't take the Spurs seriously. I don't take the Thunder seriously. It's just...
I'm not impressed by your performance.
Tell me what the Rockets are going to do, and we'll see them in the finals against Golden State. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter who the second team is. I think they're playing for second place anyway. Is there any doubt that that Golden State's not going to end up in the NBA final? Is there, outside of losing to Houston in the semifinals, is there any shot that they're not in the finals game?
Not unless Steph Curry and Kevin Durant tear their ACL. Then we're looking at a different ball game, I guess.
Yeah, I think everyone else is just playing for second place.
All right, Chad, we have anything else NBA playoff-wise? It's good for now.
Yeah, go Sixers.
All right, I guess we can wrap it up there then. We're going to have some playoff start for NBA. NFL draft we can get into, Chad, next week.
Yep. All right, well, don't forget to give us a follow and a like on Facebook. VendettaSportsMedia.com on Facebook, Vendetta_media on Twitter. Give us a follow.
Subscribe to the YouTube page.
Yeah, don't forget about the new YouTube page. We got videos going up on there. Trey's got his MLB, the show. He's got that going. He's in 2 episodes deep right now. Chris
3.
Sale had a monster pitching game. Got the shutout.
Oh, you watched
against the Mariners.
You watched it, Chad.
Yeah, I did. I told you I watched the first 2 episodes.
All right.
So don't forget to check that out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at Lilfooted, LILFOOTD. Don't forget to give Trey a follow as well at Trey Daubert, TREYDAUBERT. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, thedaydrinkers.com. They have all of the Vendetta branded merchandise as well as some cool stuff of their own. Other than that, thanks for giving us a listen, and we'll see you next week.